Sponsored by True Tech Tools. Quality tools, essential support. TrueTechTools.com.
Well, hello YouTube. It is about 9:15 on April 9th, 2016, and we've got a fairly new unit that is not working. Apparently it was installed a couple of weeks ago, and now it's not wanting to heat. So we're gonna dig into it and see what we come up with. The customer did state that the system seems to be having some kind of personality issues, where it would go on and off randomly. So we'll see if we can figure out what's going on here. New system should not be having trouble like this. Typically, one of the first things I start with is just checking pressures. We'll fire up the Sporlan. See what we got. It would be strange if the air handler did not have something to do with what was going on the pressure side. We got 121.5, 121 psi. Let's see if we can find some voltages or something. We may end up having to go into the air handler to find that, but we'll start out here and see what we get. I have been using the IDVM 510 exclusively recently, trying to get used to the operation of it and everything. I've made what I would probably call an umbilical cord of the amp and volt leads for the machine, just to simplify swapping between amps and volts a little bit. Basically, I just zip tied both of them together right here where the MN01 amp clamp or current transformer splits. I zip tied them both together about the same length. So let's see what we got here. We've got 26 volts to yellow and 26 volts to yellow. That's kind of strange. How would we have 26 volts if the unit's not working? Or not even trying to work. Let's see what we got here. We got 242. If we go to ground, 122 and 121. So we got power everywhere. We're just not getting operation. Let's see. Got 26 volts there. All of the yellow wires, yellow with the black stripe, yellow Everything seems to have power on it. That's a little odd. Okay. Sort of strange. Alright. Just for fun, we'll go back to the low voltage connections. See what we got there. If anything. I think that's the only thing that's kind of throws me off is this auto ranges, and I get millivolts on some terminals if the voltage is low or whatever. Just seems a little odd. I've set the thermostat to run heat pump. Alright, we'll go inside and see what we come up with. Hopefully I can do a little bit of talking. They're sitting over there in the living room. Okay. Yep. I don't think so. I'm looking. That's broke. Alright, I need my wire stripper. In the meantime, I'm gonna disconnect my white wire to get my heat strips to stay off. At least hopefully. It would be really nice if this was a little longer, because it's quite difficult to get to. That's interesting. okay. But it seems like we might have figured it out just by playing with the low voltage wiring, because it came on and shut off several times. That seems pretty low for pressures on a 410A heat pump. Well, at least suction pressure seems a little low, but head pressures at 316, suction pressure 77. We're going to let it run for a little while, see what we get. See what the temperature is outside, at least based on local weather. Sanford, North Carolina looks like 43 degrees or so. We got a 410A heat pump in heating mode with a standard TXV, 13 to 16, and standard evaporator. I'm going to input some measurements. Temperatures outdoor is 43. Air across the evaporator is, we'll say 70. With a 60-degree wet bulb or so. Based on current conditions, my manifold says we should have about a 325 over 100. And that's not what we got. We got 339 over 84. Superheat and subcool. We'll let it run for a little while and see what we come up with. Well, this is a little odd. The Sporlan just told me I had a 15-degree subcool, but the iConnect is saying I've only got 2. That's definitely a little strange. Just for grins and giggles, I always check my high side pressure on the discharge, but for giggles I'm going to go down here to the liquid line and see if that changes anything. Hard to believe that it might, but Got pretty much the same pressure both places. So I don't see how that has any play in it. Two degrees of subcooling and head pressure on the high end of the target. 18 degrees of superheat. I'd say the TXV is working fine. And a 91, 90 and a half on the suction. We've got a 24 degree temperature split, and measured capacity with airflow is about 2.5 tons right now. A little bit strange, but with a 24 degree split on it, I'm going to leave it for now. Maybe come back and check the charging, cooling later on, see what goes on there. Right now I'm going to go ahead and take a peek at my system performance with psychrometric chart information. I don't know if you can read that. We've got a target temperature split of 23.1, a temperature split of 24.1. That calculates to 1100 standard CFM and 1150 actual or whatever. Not too bad as far as performance goes. We'll go ahead and take a test in snapshot. We'll do this again. And we'll create a report for it so we have a reference. For 916 heating. And we'll leave it at that. It is heating, it is running now. Looks like that low voltage wire just got broken on the thermostat connection. That wasn't too bad, really. Simple thermostat wire broken in the bundle. It's 22 gauge wire, I think. It's definitely not 18 gauge, and it's pretty easy to twist that stuff off whenever you're cranking your thermostat wires down and you're not careful. Refrigerant charge, typically I expect to see a lot more subcooling than that.
In half a mile.
But it is a mobile home matchup with a TXV mobile home evaporator coil and a TXV condenser, so you know that's going to be a little bit more forgiving, but not necessarily a fix if the evaporator and the condenser coils are hugely different as far as volume. But anyway, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.
Blind man, I see you walking through this cold, cold night.